we're paying more than ever to get our own money. A new study shows that fees for out-of-network ATMs jumped 5% in the past year to an average of $4.35. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is with us. Jill, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, this seems outrageous. $4 to get out your own money?
Okay, but part of it is our own fault because we don't walk the extra few blocks to go to our own ATM. We don't stay in the network. The other part of this study found that overdraft fees also up by about 3%. This is the 15th consecutive year that we've seen overdraft fees rise. So I think that's a big deal as well. We're up to over $32 for overdraft fees. A lot of people just don't need to be doing this, and they're signed up for these services, and it costs them lots of money.
Listen, I think we're now going to start walking. I remember when the charge was just $1, and because there is something wrong, I think, Nora, about paying to get your own money, the point you raised, out of your account. So what can we do to avoid the fees other than walking?
Okay, besides walking, you do want to check with your bank before you go out. There's lots of different banks that will offer free ATM charges. So that's very important. We'll take the onus on us. To avoid overdraft fees, it's really easy. You can get an app or you can get a text alert, an email alert. When your balance goes below a certain level, you know that. You don't run up the charge and then pay the fee. By the way, experts say debit card users should not be enrolling in auto draft protection because it really costs so much money. The other thing I want to be clear about is you've got other options. You need to shop around. Credit unions have very cheap fees. Online banks, brokerages, mutual funds, they have really cheap fees. And check this out. Walmart just introducing last week new banking services. You can get a checking account if you're 18 years old with an ID, no credit check, for less than $9 a month.
So the thing is to continue to look for better alternatives. But are the fees going to continue to rise?
I think they are. And I think that we're looking at these 3 to 5% increases. Look, banks are under pressure. The regulators have been very clear. They can't do old things that they were doing to make money. Now they're finding alternatives to beef up their profits. Remember, the recession took a big hit out of bank profits. So I think we're going to see a continuation. The thing is, what we don't know is whether banks will feel pressure from these alternatives so that people will actually have better choices.
This was fascinating to me that according to the Federal Reserve, there are an estimated 10 million people who say they won't bank with a bank. What's that about?
Well, what that is about is interesting. Those are the unbanked, and that is because about 25% of them say they can't meet minimum balances, and they have poor credit. So that leaves people out of luck.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you.